Hello. Fancy seeing you here. As you can see, we are live. And I am TCG. And you are Jesus Fried Christ. And you are Murgoot. Good evening. And welcome to part 15. I thought it was part 16, but apparently it's not. It's part 15 of Ace Attorney, the trilogy. And we are currently... do you know what? I haven't gone back and looked at the previous stream, so I can't quite remember exactly how the last one left off. But what I do know is, according to the save data, we are on day 3 investigation. So we're going to get through that tonight, at the very least, and then we'll probably be in a position to get the actual story and the first game completed before the weekend is up. Now, depending on how I feel, because I haven't had any overtime, I may or may not continue through, but it all depends on how long the game takes. Hey, not Moriarty. Hi. Good evening. So yeah, how is everybody? We all have a good Friday. I released a video yesterday over on the main channel. If you haven't seen it already, it is a story about the Cape Intruder, with a little bit of Halifax Sleepwatcher sprinkled in for good measure. It is true crime, but it is a little different to the sort of like bog standard sort of true crime content you normally see on YouTube, where we're talking about murders, serial killers, that sort of thing. I wanted to sort of have June a bit as an experimental month, which I did before with the Ronald Oper story, and I thought I'd mix it up a little bit with that particular story yesterday of the Cape Intruder and the Halifax Sleepwatcher. If you haven't already, go and check it out. It's I not to blow my own trumpet, I don't want to come across that way, but it's perhaps the one video so far that I'm like the most proud of in terms of how it came out, and I really want it to do well, and it needs a little bit of a nudge, shall we say. Oh, you've already liked it. The Cape Intruder is much less impressive role than the Cape Crusader. Law Lodge is doing their Slenderman assault and the creepypasta lore of Slenderman right now too, but I'm here. Thank you, Mogu. Thank you very much. And yeah, GB, it is much less impressive than the Cape Crusader. Unfortunately, Ace Attorney doesn't wear a cape, but I mean, if he did, then my lord, that boy should be the Cape Crusader indeed. He would be a suitable replacement for Adam West. Quiet or just me? I'm hoping not quiet. I mean, I'm just checking my Blue Yeti now, and it's definitely going in the little amber bit, which is where I want it to be. Mrs. TCG should be the only one blowing your... Tell her that, mate. Right, anyway. As we've got a few of you here now, so let's move the thumbnail out of the way. Let's crack on, shall we? Excellent. Oh gosh, it's only just begun. Right, okay. Oh, it was turned down. There you go. Stop it. I always think I'm the one causing the boomerisms, but you know, touch wood. So far, we've been quite good. And also, what are we drinking tonight? I'm an ice cold lemonade this evening. Right, February 24th, 3:12 p.m. Wright and Co. Law Offices. I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm sorry for what my sister said. What did she say again? Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. Oh, right. I will. Give me her details, not Miss now. I'm not giving you my wife's number. Jesus. Dr. Pepper with the best flavour of Pringles. Ah, you're on the Texas barbecue sauce, are you? Good man, good man. That's right, she forged evidence, didn't she? I didn't know. You're not late, Mima. No, we've literally just started. I never knew that the SL9 incident was just another name for the Joe Dark killings. Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me. Lana wanted Dark convicted so badly. You don't get any email address either, GB. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me. What do you mean, what happened to you? It's all there in the file. Joe Dark's last victim was prosecutor Neil Marshall. when he murdered Officer Marshall's brother. He left behind an incriminating piece of evidence. But what did you have to do with those killings, Emma? On the night Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me. Oh, what? He tried to kill you? Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me. I might have to, just so you know, chat, I might have to retire the Officer Vikins character. Just because I've been seeing what V's up to lately on Twitter. And I completely disavow. 100%. Absolute degenerate behaviour. Absolute degeneracy. Invested 30k of his own money into making a game of, how should we say, the Japanese animated variety. He has definitely been savage. Oi, not Moriarty, how'd you get that? So that means you... Yes, I was a witness in the Joe Dark trial. I didn't see that one coming. There we go. Oh, we can actually have a proper chat. It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of year too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day. Unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. The yes. Then suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office. V? No, I mean Joe Dark. It seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up. Jake Marshall's brother. Joe Dark tried to take me hostage, but before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then... What happened? I'll never forget it. Lightning struck, and the lights went out. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now. A permanent picture? Joe Dark sounds like an emo's D&D character. Hey man, you said it, not me. I don't remember the moment when Dark stabbed Mr. Marshall. So you weren't able to testify about that? No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why she made up the crime. Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence? The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence, and Mr. Edgeworth used it. Edgeworth? Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumours about Mr. Edgeworth, I mean. It's all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened. So it's true. Even though he may not have known it, Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence. After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold, like she is today. Yes, naughty edgy indeed. Oh, I tell you what, I love me a lemon Fanta. When I was younger and I used to go out on a night out and get absolutely slaughtered, the morning afterwards, I used to go to my dad's workshop and go to his free vending machine and then pop out a lemon Fanta. I used to find that was really good for hangovers. That and the bacon sandwich that accompanied it, but the lemon Fanta definitely helped. She must not have been able to face up to what she did, especially not to Emma. What did you see in the instant that crime occurred? She saw a man with a knife with an onion-shaped haircut. Dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife. Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl. Not every Fanta flavour is created equal though. No, it's true, it's true. I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently I passed out. Isn't pineapple Fanta? That's lilt. That is literally lilt. In fact, over here in the UK, they've actually they're retiring the Lilt brand, and basically, yeah, just rebranding it as Pineapple Fanta. I think, pretty sure they are. That's what they're doing. Yeah. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms. Poor Emma, you've been through so much. I couldn't bring myself to testify about that incident. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good. 2 years ago. You must have been 14. Well, that's understandable. We can get blackcurrant Fanta here as well, not Moriarty. At the very least, we can get them in the the news agents. There's a news agents not far from me. I'm pretty sure they sell it in like the little American R section. Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies. I'm pretty sure we can, yeah. And find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way, Lana would never have to forge any. I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. What? Lilt was the best, and the stereotypical Jamaican accent in the old advert was amusingly offensive. Yeah, I know, right? Like, to be fair, I used to drink a lot of, like, a bit, you know, Lilt when I was younger. Not so much now. But yeah, when I heard they were basically sacking off that brand and just rebranding it as like Pineapple Fanta, I was like, nah, man. It's like when they changed Opal Fruits to Starburst. And also, for people old enough who are from the UK, do you remember when they tried to change Cocoa Pops into Choco Krispies? And the absolute outrage that ensued from that. In the end, I remember that Kellogg's had like a vote to basically either rebrand it back to Cocoa Pops or keep the name of Choco Krispies. And I think when the voting percentages were released, I think it was something like 98% rebrand it back to Cocoa Pops. It's like, dude, mate, don't mess with it. Don't mess with tradition. You know, there's something puzzling. There's something that's puzzling me, Emma. What is it? You said you were in Lana's office at that time, right? That's right. Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor? Oh, there's no mystery there. Oh, I think it was back in the 90s, GB. Yeah, nostalgia, yeah. Joe Dark had been taken in for questioning that day. Yeah, but you see, limited edition ain't the same as, you know, as like just what it was back in the day. Like I remember, you know, like those little candy sticks that you can buy that look like cigarettes. Like I'm old enough to remember when they were actually packaged as cigarettes. Like, taken in for questioning. You mean by the police? Of course. This happened at the police department. Or like when Snickers became... when Marathon bars became Snickers were rebranded. I was only small then to Uncle TCG. Hang on. Right, okay, look. I'm not going to reveal my age, right? But I am approaching my 40th year. I'm approaching 40. Let's say I'm somewhere in between the range of 30 and 40. So, yeah. I remember buying candy cigarettes as a kid. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, so, yeah. And now, I mean, it's exactly the same, but like, you know, they'll have like the little Marvel heroes and stuff like that. But it was literally like, they were packaged like Marlboro Lights or, you know, like the old popular packs that were going around at the time. My mum used to smoke Raffles back in the day. There's like black, long pack, like really like, back in the day, like posh, like the equivalent like posh cigarettes. Even though, like, we didn't have any money. That was her choice of brand back in the day. But even then, they were like £2 a packet. And nowadays, my God. Sort of like the annual release of Count Chocula, Booberry, and Frankenberry. Yeah, exactly like that, yeah. Of course, this happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office. Not Moriarty disapproves smoking. That's fine. To each his own. But why did he run all the way over to your sister's office? Because the detective offices in the questioning room are right across from the elevator. across from the elevator. But Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she? No, silly. Didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. She was the best in the entire force. What? That's news to me. After the Joe Dart case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor. Lana used to be a detective. I'd better have another talk with her. Excuse me. Right, okay. That tells me that we need to go... Yaw. I don't believe you, TCG, just like I refuse to believe AA is anything less than 53. Yeah, no, I'm closer to 40 than I am 30, my friend. February 24, Detention Centre, Visitors Room. Lana! Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble. Falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type. Criminals don't mind playing foul. Why should we? But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty. No, JFC, that is not true. Many people are older than the British are. It's just he is always 20. Remember that. Oh, didn't see the ping. Maverick Hunter, can I come and burn you down, mate? Because you were late. You're late. Believe me. Oh, sorry. Believe me, I understand the risks. Lana. Also, why isn't the chat on screen? Uh-oh. Thank you for pointing that out. Let's fix that. Ta-da! I just had a boomer moment. There we go. Emma told me about you. Huh? About how you were a detective 2 years ago. And how the SL9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office. That's right. I am late and no one says a goddamn word about that. Could you fill me in on the details? Especially about that unusual change of jobs? I suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright. Yeah, I do. A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today. Not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago. Yay, boomer moment, there we go. But it's fixed, and it wasn't a major boomer moment, it just meant that I didn't want to share what you lot were saying. That's all it meant. Evidence from that case was stolen as well. Sargoning increases. Have you, actually speaking of which, have you seen their new studio? It has... It kind of has an InfoWars vibe to it. But, I mean, it's nice to see them succeeding. And, of course, like, those who know me and Proper Horror Show will know that, you know, we've spoken to folks like Harry and Connor on more than one occasion. They're lovely chaps. So, it's yeah, it's nice to see that despite all of the issues that they have with the tube of views, they're still able to succeed through the support that they get. Speaking of which, if you want to support this series, consider tipping me over at Streamlabs. There's a pinned comment linked in the live chat if you want to do that. You're not obligated to, but it is very much appreciated. And if you are here for the first time, please do give this consider subscribing to the channel. We do true crime gaming and all that jazz, but I do have another channel which is focused on the true crime itself. That is That Crime Guy. That is my main channel. We are almost at 9,000 subscribers, and when we hit 10,000, there will be an announcement. And it's one that I am very excited for, one that I am prepping for, so I don't mind waiting a little bit to get that extra 1,000 subscribers, but if we can get there by the end of the year, that would be amazing. Lotus Eaters need to beat that segue. There you go. Evidence from that case was stolen as well, though I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be. Credit card number of it. Ain't worth it anyway, mate. I can give it to you, but you ain't gonna get anything out of it. That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believed that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth. For some reason, I thought he was going to say there will be a reckoning. It couldn't be helped, Emma. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul. Wow. All drama is... You're not... You're not getting a number. What does Mrs. Benevolent have to say? Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15, there was no murder at the police department. Tell me it's not true, Lana. What the witness, Miss Starr, said. Also, for those not a proper horror show. Yeah, yes, absolutely. F's in the chat for Gatsby. Absolutely. Definitely. And salutes as well. It was a good boy. Good boy. He was your good boy. And yeah, if you haven't watched that stream already, we did actually return last night as well, so go and check that live stream out over on Proper Horror Show's channel. We mentioned Star, which is quite interesting on the screen right now, because one of the characters in Asylum was a Dr. Star. Yeah, Mima. Yeah, it was a few. Sadly, it was a few weeks back. It was the night that we were supposed to stream Asylum that it happened. And, yeah, but then so she went away with Wholesome Chicken Wrangler and cleared her head, got herself in a better space, and we're back. We're back. About you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife. Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us? Emma, this doesn't involve just me. I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so phased before. Yeah, that week was quite naff, actually. It was, because obviously with the news of with Gatsby, and that literally like a couple of days before, my mum had got in contact with me to say that like our family dog, or her dog, had passed away as well. It was just a bit of a crap week. Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. Not Moriarty throwing up the would you rathers. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll put it to a poll, shall we? Would you rather 11 fingers or 11 toes? There you go. There you go, not Moriarty. You can get this. You can get this on lock. Detective Lana Skye. It's true. I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. She was amazing. They still talk all about the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together. Oh, bless. No worries, Mima. Chief Gant? He was the deputy chief of police back then, but he still worked the crime scenes. Damon Gant, he was everything I aspired to be. They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before the reports could even be filed. Emma really idolises her big sister. But now you're chief prosecutor. What happened? I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was to gain experience investigating crime scenes so you could use that experience in court, right? Gant's help in the SL9 case was crucial to its resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office. Hey Marina, good evening. Maybe I should ask more about the investigation of theirs 2 years ago. Maybe I should. 2 years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating Dark. Second in command? That means the investigation lead was Damon Gant, right? Lana does have a couple of attributes worth idolising. See, now, he would agree with that. But he's too busy arguing with people on Twitter who don't agree with that. You know what I mean? Yes. Deputy Chief Gant and I shared the same office, and the same investigations, and the same house, and the same kitchen, and the same toilet, and the same bed. They even had the same office. We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho. Without a doubt, Joe Dark was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place. When he tried to murder Emma. Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Dark. You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me. Now you tell us. Same bed, spicy. Damon Gant and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. The investigation was in its final stages, and Dark must have suddenly panicked. So he waited until Gant and Marshall let their guards down, and then he fled the room. From there, he ran straight to the office shared by Deputy Chief Gant and myself. That's where he found me. So you were the first person to run to the scene, Lana? Right. Yeah, we'll close that one down. Alright, okay, right. Okay, no, I have questions. I have questions straight off the bat. I thought this would be a landslide for Fingers, because I think just for gripping dexterity, you'd be able to, be able to have a better grip, like if you're hanging off a cliff or something like that. But 11 toes? I need rationale. I need rationale. I need rationale, chat. Why? Why? People see your hands. Yeah, but if people had 11 fingers, people don't see your toes. Yeah, but except those intimate to your JFC, and people can see fingers. My toes are hidden. Okay, so people are going with they can see. Okay. I mean, you're wrong. I didn't mean it like that, Maverick. Although that was very much a freezing moment, wasn't it? How many times do you show your toes at that? I mean, there are some people in certain communities, not Moriarty, that would probably show them quite a few times a day, which may or may not be the announcement. It's not. Ah, right. So you were the first person to run to the scene, Lana? It appears so. I was filing some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Dark. Even when I have flip-flops on who's counting my toes. There you go. Oh, wow, kinky. Here we go. When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood. 3 bodies? Prosecutor... Why can't I say that? Prosecutor Marshall, the victim, Emma, who had passed out. And the suspect, Joe Dark. Wide shoes are cheaper than 6-finger gloves. Don't answer that question. Don't. I was off looking up cigarette brands. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Beg your pardon? Joe Dark had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious. What did you do? To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her. Can't blame her. After all, her sister must have gone through. Imagine having your finger, like, growing out of your pinky finger, then you can't get a good glove for it. Man. Mate, the directions this chat goes is... You don't, I swear to God, you don't see it on other streams. We're here playing a true crime game. We're talking about... we're talking about deformed fingers and deformed toes. Ah! If that isn't worth a subscribe, I don't know what is. Also, make sure you hit like, folks. If you're here, it costs you nothing, and you can always change your mind on the way out. After that, I replaced Dark under immediate arrest. Alright, okay, let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident. That's right. Quite a coincidence, Hey, Burnsy! You're here now. Excellent. You came in just at the right time. We're talking about, would you rather have 11 fingers or 11 toes? Nah, I don't buy it. But what are you saying? There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident. Just by chance. But that case was solved 2 years ago. Yeah, at least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved. Officer Marshall. Yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ugh. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely. Yeah, that can do it to you though, to be fair. I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Dark. Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories. The case just might not be over yet. Well, Emma was assaulted by Dark at the police department, right? Yes, in the office that Damon Gant and I shared. The office that Mr. Gant now occupies by himself. The Chief's office. Yeah, maybe we should have a look at the Chief's office. Site of the final SL9 murder. Maybe we should. Can we go here? February 24, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department. I don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere. Things seem kind of quiet round here today. Yeah, you're right. The Chief of Detectives seems the same, though. Why don't we go look for some other people to talk to? Right. We can come back here later. Okay, then. Right, we'll go back then. We'll go to the underground parking lot. You were at the shop buying pizza and beer anyway. I hope there's no pineapple on that pizza, Burnsy. No one's here today. Not even Miss Starr. Everyone's probably busy looking into what exactly went down in the evidence room. That must be where the detectives are. It'll be proved in court today on the day of the crime. No one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15 PM. Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway in our case. But instead, it looks like we just ended up making Lana look even more guilty. Hang in there, Lana. I've got to find all the answers by tomorrow. Okay. Let's have a look in here. We chat to good old edgy boy. Oh, no, he's not here either. Mr. Crime. Hello, Mr. Crime. No pineapple. It was a plain shop pizza. I got a discount because I'm smart. Each pizza was 40p. Oh. And no pineapple. Mate. How'd you get... Dude. You have to share your secret, son. How'd you make that 40p? Dude. Mr. Edgeworth isn't here. Maybe he's being questioned by an inquiry committee. He took a real beating in court today. Oh, my. More phrasing. Speaking of Miles, he seems like someone who would sound very posh. That's right, I do. But I also took a real beating in court today. They beat me hard and fast. My son just had SpaghettiOs for the first time, and he keeps on pointing them, saying, eat, 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 eat. Oh, bless. Yeah, with Lana admitting to falsifying evidence 2 years ago. I guess we'll just have to come back later. Alright then. So we've been there. Let's go here. 12 fingers or 13 toes? Much harder question. I'm not polling that one, man. I'm disappointed with the last one. Like, I mean, I get the argument, like, people see your hands, they don't see your toes. But by having, like, 11 toes, you're going to have, like, your shoes ain't going to be comfortable because you've got, like, the extra width in there. Although, I mean, I don't know. Paying for things, don't want to be going down that route. This pizza with have 3 types of pig, chili, and sweet. See, yeah, I can get behind the 3 types of pig. I can even allow the chili. Sweet corn is a no-no for me, I'm afraid. But you know what? As I said, you know, my channels are very inclusive. Anybody is welcome. Even those who like pineapple. We may not agree, but that's fine. Howdy, Bambina. I have a better question. 5 nipples or 3? Ha! Easy. 3. Oh, Mr. Marshall. I never thought things would turn out this way when I woke up this morning. Que sera, sera. You never know where life will lead you, eh, Bambina? You can buy wide shoes, but Marina, what if I don't want to? I should have known my luck had run out when old Billy dried up this morning. Billy? What? The question applies to women too. What, whether they'd have 5 nipples or 3 products? Must be his pet cactus. Say, where are you headed? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Would a kick to 3 bullocks hurt more than a kick to 2? Well, I imagine it would. Wear a cup, you'll be fine. Sorry, but you can't go into the evidence room today, partner. But Mr. Marshall, why did you do it? Mighty prospectors head west. If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one. Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened? Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. More bores equals more pain. Indeed. Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so. What do you mean fishy? Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon. The murder weapon? You mean that switchblade knife with the broken tip? That was Joe Dark's alright, but in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised. A question? The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained. What does that mean? It means there is a good chance that knife was not the murder weapon. However, in the report that was finally submitted, that possibility had been erased. Hang on, why is the guy who looks like me being arrested? Oh god, why was it? Oh, hang on, why is he being arrested? I think he tampered with some stuff. Yeah, I think he might have tampered with evidence or sort of stolen something from the evidence rooms. I can't remember. I need to go back and watch the previous streams to catch up. Could the facts have been concealed with forged evidence? That case left behind scars on all of us. The scars that the SL9 incident left behind. I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together. How old was he, your brother? He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that very day. The highest honor? You mean the King of Prosecutors? I knew it. What are y'all looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor. Mr. Marshall must have really been close with his brother. The day the SL9 incident took place, that wasn't the same day as... That's right. It was the day of the evidence transfer. Wait, interesting. It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. I can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die. Apparently someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty. There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. Miss Starr was fired, and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room. What about Detective Goodman? If they did something to him too, the commissioners would have got suspicious. Nah, they were careful enough not to be too obvious. They? Whoa, whoa! Who are you talking about? Yeah, who are they? Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Gant and Lana Sky. The investigation lead, Damon Gant, and his second-in-command, Lana Sky. Lana Sky. There wasn't a person in the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both their careers. After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right? Yeah. Damon Gant, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She's never been the same since she left. You did, GB. And indeed, a Lagas from Maverick. Everyone who knew her said so. Well, you can't hear any British accent with that voice. Oh, cheers. Chief Prosecutor Sky was totally different when she was a detective. Now that he mentions it, Emma said something like that too. Tell me, what happened to my sister? Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. I never found out. Lana's secret. It all started 2 years ago. So there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner? It certainly was enlightening. There's one thing for sure I found out in court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. He was the one who... excuse me. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. Someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planted everything. I'm going to come to America, Marina, and I'm going to fool you all. That someone is Damon Gant. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. Oh, I just noticed I heard the bottle pop. Too bad I won't be around to work with you when you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina. Aw, man. I feel a bit bad for him now. Let's go back to here. Right. February 24. Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department. You wouldn't have a voice by the time you got home, yeah? Oh, 2 seconds. This place is always pretty empty, but today it's deserted. That must mean everyone's busy solving crimes. Oh, if you're looking for the others, they're all in the conference room. Thanks. Wow, he actually talked to us. With the chief prosecutor saying what she did and the decision about what to do. About Mr. Edgeworth, not to mention our statement to the media and tomorrow's trial, there's more chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together. JFC, I suppose, that would depend on cup size, but are we talking about a sports bra still? Just dodgy fingers, dodgy toes, sports bras. We are so proud as community. And when am I coming to the penal Connolly? I don't know. If I would, I can tell you categorically, my wife wouldn't come. She says for 2 reasons: Christmas in summer, and obviously like the absolute insane wildlife you have out there. I think festive is the word usually used for those. Sir, we'd like to have a word look around Chief Gant's office. Oh, just use the connecting hallway to the other building and take the elevator to the top floor. Really? You mean it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we aren't police officers or anything. Hey, you're right. You can't go in there. It's off limits. Now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's head to the chief's office. Indeedy do. Yes, it is Australia. Look at this. What a room. What a room. Are we noticing the picture on the left-hand side as well? Oh, here we go. Which is now in the centre. Whoa. Where am I? In the chief's office, silly. At least that's what it said on the door. Check out that pipe organ. That's real, isn't it? Hey, I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten. They used to call me Little Miss Bach. I thought I was a genius until they tried teaching me notes. There you go. I never could remember where C was. Oh, it's you two. Chief Gant? He put that paper he was reading in his desk. So, righto. Have you been swimming lately? No, I haven't. I've been kind of busy lately. I can appreciate that. I've had my hands full too, with Mr. Marshall's misconduct and Lana's provocative statement. Provocative statement? Oh, you mean about the forged evidence? 2 years have passed since that incident. My, how time flies. You see that big picture on the wall over there? That's a picture of Lana, Neil, and me. Are we noticing something on that, chap? So this is Mr. Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall. We took it to commemorate our work together. Something's not right with this picture. I can't quite seem to put my finger on it, though. Yeah, the urn. TCG, did you hear about Andrew Tate? He got charged with the big R, apparently. Yes, he did. Yeah, still, I'm still watching that one closely. It's not something I'd make a video on, to be fair, but yeah, I've been keeping my eye on that case, on that situation. K is for cunt. I say German one. And I showed my friend that the shop now sells his favourite beer. I'm a marketing kind of guy, you might say. Very good. Anyway, I'd like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention. I'm going to look up here, so let's go out together. Oh. But this office, it was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it? That case has long since been solved. That case has long since been over. Oh, there's no need to investigate it anymore. All the same, we'd still like to have a look around. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate it anymore. Now, hurry up and get out. I've a meeting to attend. I do not approve of Mr. Andrew Tate. See, the thing about Andrew Tate, right? The thing about Andrew Tate, this is my opinion of the geezer, right? There are things that he will say, okay, that people can agree with, all right? About hard work, bettering yourself, exercise, and all that stuff, right? That's all stuff that you can sort of get behind and you can agree with, right? But that kind of stuff is kind of milquetoast for me. But yeah, I mean, in terms of like his sort of character is, you know, I find him to be quite arrogant. You know, he's basically a dick, right? Basically a dick. And that's the thing. Like he can speak. You know, he can make good points, but you know, he has no etiquette in terms of how to present that. I think if you look at some of the stuff he's done more recently, I think you can sort of see where he's kind of tried to shift the way that he presents stuff. But I don't know. I mean, I don't like him as such. But no, Mergu is absolutely right though. He does absolutely deserve a fair trial, and you know, given what we do here on this channel, we want to make sure that, you know, if he has done any wrong, that, you know, he does see justice for it. Absolutely, you know, 100%. You know, he shouldn't be doing stuff like that. Sounds vague. I support world peace. But what I mean is, a lot of the stuff that he says, like the sort of the truth bombs that he throws out there, they are quite sort of generic. You know, like if I could say the things that well, he says he is for men, but will promote sex cams to weaken men. So it's, yeah, exactly, yeah. You know, it's hypocritical. It's absolutely hypocritical. You know, that sort of stuff that he does. And now, obviously, the questions that have been raised about him and the allegations are to do with the fact, you know, to do with that line of work that he's done and that he's engaged in, the way that he's allegedly manipulated women and coerced them, and you know, other things on top of that. And absolutely, like you know, disavow if it's true. But yeah, no, I wouldn't. I don't like the thought of someone being persecuted just for their opinions and their beliefs. But whether that is the case, or whether, you know, there is something, you know, something true to, you know, the allegations, that remains to be seen. Yeah, brilliant salesman, nasty piece of work. Yeah. I reserve judgment, okay, because a lot of the things that you're hearing about this case, you hear from the Tates, and you know that when it comes to cases, you know, when the prosecutors build up their case against him, they are going to keep a lot of information close to their chest. There is no way that we know everything which has come out of these allegations. Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't know all the facts. We don't know all of the information. We won't be privy to that until the trial. So, I don't know. Someone needs to ask V if they televise trials over in Romania, because that would be an interesting one to watch, I must admit. No doubt if that was something that would be filmed, you can guarantee people like Rakita Law and Law and Crime would be all over that. Maybe JFC, maybe there is stuff that's made up, maybe there isn't. I mean, like I say, we have to wait and see. You know, we have to wait and see. I'm not going to sit here and say that he's guilty. He hasn't had the trial done yet. You know, the trial's not been done yet. Again, I reserve judgment with regards to fabricated evidence. I reserve judgment. I don't want to say something that's like out of pocket, because it wouldn't be right. Paid off people to say he did stuff when he hasn't. Again, who knows? Who knows? You know, he's you know, of course he's going to look right. Okay, of course his argument is going to be that I am innocent, and of course, you know, he has the right to that presumption until he is convicted otherwise. Put it this way, he's not going to come out and admit it, is he? The sad thing is he's guilty by court of Twitter, so even if the prosecutor said zero evidence, they would just say he gotten away with it. Yeah, but that's social media for you, Maverick. I mean, trial by social media is it's R-worded in it. Let's be honest. But yeah, no, JFC, you're not wrong by saying about, you know, Romania's corruption. You know, they're still a country that not long ago was communist, wasn't it? You know, in my lifetime certainly. If they genuinely had good evidence, they would have released it by now. See, that's the thing, JFC. I disagree with that. If they genuinely had good evidence, why would they need to release it now? Why would they need to release it now? They can just wait until the trial for it to all come out, because that's where it should be coming out. They shouldn't be throwing the evidence out there on social media for people to then prejudge, and also by them doing that, that could actually impact their case negatively. Because if you're trying to get, like, I don't know if it's going to be a trial by jury, but you know, given the eyes on this particular case and this investigation, they're going to want to keep everything hush hush to maintain the integrity of it. So yeah, I don't believe that they haven't got evidence. I just don't know if the evidence they have is circumstantial or if it's solid. So, you know, that's my take. And I've seen it, you know, with some of the things that I've, you know, the trials that the cases that I've reviewed. Yeah, exactly, Maverick. Yeah, it wasn't like the Rittenhouse case where the footage was public. You know, it was already out. It was already out on social media. You know, people could look at that and make a judgment based on the evidence, because it is there. It's right in front of your eyes. I mean, you know, there are people that think, you know, he gunned down 3 innocent people that night. I got 2 people and wounded a third person who didn't do anything. But, you know, I'm not in that camp. You know, I think he had a right to defend himself. I don't think he should have been there. As a 17-year-old lad, he should not have been there. But one of the guys had a gun and pulled it on him, so he absolutely had that right. Another guy was trying to take his gun from him, which he had every right to defend himself, and the other person whacked him over the head with a skateboard, which could have caused serious injury or loss of life. So again, you make that argument as well. But I mean, he shouldn't have been there. Yeah, he's a scumbag. Oh, she is waiting. Yeah, sorry, I went on a bit of a tangent there. Point is, Tate, innocent till proven guilty. He's a scum. He is an arse. But that shouldn't be reason to convict him. We will wait and see what the evidence is when it's released by the Romanian authorities, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Looks like we aren't welcome. It seems that case isn't over with yet, after all. What do you mean? Well, Chief Gant denied our request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around there. Again, Phoenix, not necessarily. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, GB, true. You mean like a clue? There's got to be a way we can get inside the Chief's office. Let's see what we can do. Oh, maybe we can get around here. No. Maybe we can get... No, we've just been there. Can we get in through a window? Do, 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 do. Hey, here he goes. He's moving. He's spinning. No one was doing protocol and the first officer wasn't a boat guy before and didn't speak English. Oh, I don't. Oh, Costa Concordia. Yeah. What an S show that was. Speaking of dancing, the whole police department has been dancing about like crazy since the other day. Can I take out his batteries? Can't just help but feel he's going to do something naughty. Right, let's move to back here. Yeah, boy. There are weird people living above me. Hey, pal. Detective Gumshoe? Aren't you supposed to be in a meeting? I'm, just taking a breather. My feet hurt. From sitting so long? Actually, from serving everyone coffee. Sounds like Detective Gumshoe's still out of the loop. Say, have either of you seen Mr. Edgeworth? Edgeworth? No. Why do you ask? He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. It's almost like the battles between you two in court. That sounds serious. Is it because of what my sister said? I hope you were kinder during my trial after I made content for the channel TCG. You will be innocent until proven guilty too, GB. Don't you worry. That's basically what it all boils down to. That falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood. Yikes. This chap. Yeah, but why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. Lana Skye is the guilty party here, isn't she? Regardless, a prosecutor is responsible for the evidence they present in court. Not only that, but as you know, there have been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talent as a prosecutor has kept him safe from those who don't like him. But now, with this... Are there really so many people who hate him? In our world, only those with talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only has that, but he's young. He's good-looking. He's dreamy. I mean, there's no better recipe I know of for making enemies.
Hey, Dick! Keep up the good work!
Yes, sir!
Let's go out for lunch again sometime. My treat!
Yes, sir!
You gotta take me back to that joint sometime, okay, Dick?
Yes, sir! Seems you don't have any problems with enemies. Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth just might crack. Don't crack. Actually, I took a look at the file earlier, while the coffee was brewing. He seems genuinely concerned for Edgeworth. Well, did you find out anything? The only evidence Dark left behind was during his final attack. His final attack? You mean when he killed Prosecutor Marshall, who was trying to protect some girl? Me. Seems Detective Gumshoe never realized Emma was the girl. That's when he left the most incriminating evidence of all. Well, what was it? Oh, well, let's see. I think it had something to do with the murder weapon. Oh, I forget. Look, it's all written somewhere in here, okay? His powers of recollection never fail to impress. Maybe we should show him the murder weapon. It might jog his memory. TCG, would you rather have a penny that doubles in value every day for 30 days or 1 million right now? I would have a... I don't know. I'll tell you what, we'll go for a penny every day. I feel like there's some sort of crazy ass maths question. Well, someone tried to sell me drugs once. I almost punched him. Did you ever have someone with cerebral palsy offer you drugs? I had. And it was at a family. It was a family member's, a senior family member's birthday party. I said no, because Joe Dark was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just your run-of-the-mill businessman. Businessman? What made him take to serial killing? One day on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car. With his car? So, it was an accident? An accident, yes, but it transformed him into an animal. An animal? He killed a man that witnessed the accident. Then he killed a lady who saw the second killing. A kid walked by just then, so he killed him too. Then he buried the bodies, and then a jogger came upon the scene as well. And a jogger came upon the scene and was killed as well. Finally, he turned himself in. If I accepted the drugs people offered me, I would have a large cash for bribing people. Seems he was a pretty careless animal. Of course, this is all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence. So he turned himself in? Yes, but in the middle of his questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim. Prosecutor Marshall. You're incorrigible, JFC. That crime was witnessed by someone too, but luckily Dark was arrested on the spot. It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed. That last witness, aka Emma. Right then, we better show you that Moida weapon. Here we go. Ooh. About this. Hey, is that... There's a tag attached to it, with the label SL9 incident on it. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of. You can tell Gumshoe has never worked in an office, team meetings and culture sessions long enough to drive anyone to serial killing. Purely theoretical, of course. Yes. What are you doing with that? Ever since that case was closed, that knife's been locked away in a locker. On the day Detective Goodman was murdered, this suddenly disappeared from the locker and was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler. That's it! Now I remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me. Well, what is it, Detective? Quick, before you forget again. What is it? What is it? What's the Moida weapon? What's the Moida weapon? This knife, it was Joe Dogg's, wasn't it? That's right. We traced it back to the store he bought it at. Plus, it had his fingerprints on it too. But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right? That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see it's broken. You don't have to take a good look to notice that. Yeah, well, anyway. Take a guess where the broken off tip of the knife was found. That's what did him in. Where was it? The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it. Inside his own body. It was found deep inside the stab wound. Did it match Dogg's knife? You bet. Down to the last fiber. Talking about fiber. That's pretty conclusive. There you go. 2 seconds. Hello? Okay, so I knocked me PC. Right. Well, there you have it in a nutshell. That's all I know. Can I ask you one more thing? What is it? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Gant. Oh, it's not money, but it does concern the chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It's where Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. The chief's out now, and his office is locked. But we'd like to have a look around, if that's okay. Well, any detective's ID card can unlock the door. What? Really? But if I let a civilian in there, I'd be charged with breach of trust. Breach of trust? Simply put, I'd be canned. Oh. Sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you. How about this ID card? It was Detective Goodman's. That won't work either. The data was deleted the day he died. Oh. So in other words, Gumshoe is our only chance of getting into that office. I wonder if there's something we could show him that would make him change his mind. Oh, okay, right, that maybe? Okay, no, right, so we've got to run through it. I've been studying up on those files. There's nothing wrong with, Mr. Edgeworth's presentation. To think people are accusing him of injustice, I, for one, ain't buying it, pal. You're looking into the case for Mr. Edgeworth? Yeah, it was a pretty big deal while it was going on, you know. After all, the serial killer was on the loose. But Lana was pretty clear in her confession. She forged evidence in order to prove Joe Dog guilty. Okay, no, that. Oh, I can't believe Officer Marshall would do such a thing. You know Officer Marshall? Of course I do. He was like a mentor to me. When I first started out, he even gave me a small cactus. Really? He said, Dick, she'll listen to all your troubles. Note to self. Detective Gumshoe talks to a cactus. Hard to believe he's just a patrolman now. Someone ought to trade places with him. What? Why y'all looking at me like that? Maybe this? About that jar. I think I've seen it before somewhere. Somewhere? Or maybe it's one of those memories people have from previous lives. This must be the most uninformative detective I've ever met. Something about it makes me feel uneasy. It's like I'm in the chief's office and he's yelling at me. Chief Gant? Where could I have seen that before? Ah, I thought you'd let me... No locker can be opened without a fingerprint match. Besides, there's no reason for the murderer to touch his own locker. Hey, wasn't your locker the one with the blood on it, Detective? The handprint on the real murderer's gloved hand, without any fingerprints. Shh! If they come to arrest me, you'll defend me, won't you? If that happens, I think you'll do better pleading with Edgeworth. Right, Oh, man. Oh, man. Maybe this? Hey, that's it. That's the King of Prosecutors Award that Mr. Edgeworth got the other day. Were you at the award ceremony, Detective Gumshoe? Of course, pal. I got an award for diligence myself. Ah, congratulations. I was wondering, why is the award a shield? And why is it broken? Oh, there's a reason. I'll tell you what it is later. Apparently he's forgotten. Okay, yeah, no, we know that. We know that. We've seen this. Yeah, we know that. We know that. This guy almost made us lose the case today. What are you talking about? He was guarding the bloodstain on that evidence locker with his life. That's more than you can say about most officers nowadays. It would have saved us a lot of trouble if he hadn't guarded it so well. To admit he's right, though. Thanks to the Blue Badger, we were able to prove another possibility today. The possibility that another murder took place prior to 5:15 PM. Anything you can tell us about this picture? That Miss Starr is quite the lady. Why, I remember when it was winter. I was 16. She was the only one who ever got me to talk about what happened. 16? That's how old I am now. I wonder what happened. I wonder if Detective Gumshoe wore a trench coat in high school too. Oh man, right, okay, what do we... Hey, I just bought some of that stuff. Now I can go. Sorry if the microphone just went funny then. Wow, is that a new type? I've never seen that bottle before. Add 3 inches to your base height. Hold on, what? Base height? Hey, let me see that. Looming tool. New and improved growth formula. You mean this can't detect any blood traces? Well, it's not quite the same thing as luminol. So that's why the lady at the counter had that smirk on her face. Hey. Ah, that's the ID card record, isn't it? This is what I needed to show. Yep. There's only one number left to investigate. 4:20 PM. The victim, Detective Goodman, must have entered the evidence room along with someone else. Someone with an executive officer number. 777777777. It's 17 too many, Detective. An executive officer. I might just have a hunch. Okay. Oh, an asylum report, huh? Very impressive, Detective. You knew what it was right off the bat. Well, I am a master of misplacement, you know. Master? That has such a cool ring to it. The way I see it, if things are meant to be lost, then people are meant to be lost. There's a higher power at work here. Wow, a higher power. Maybe I shouldn't let Emma hold any evidence. Just gonna do some rearranging. Right. The Gumshoe by Dick Growth Lotion. Looks like he might have done. What about this? No, okay. Okay, not that either. Right. Maybe we've got to move elsewhere. We will come back to him in a sec. Ah, okay. February 24, High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. Wonder if Edgeworth is back yet. There he is! It looks like he's writing something. What are you doing here? He sure was quick to throw that paper on the floor. Ooh. Tough day in court, huh? Huh. I've had to live the past 2 years with rumours flying around. What's another allegation to me? Cheer up, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm rooting for you. That's Edgeworth for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings. So what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day. Well, hang on a minute. This, wonder what he was writing before. I keep knocking the microphone. Come on, Mr. Wright. Let's take a look. You crazy? Edgeworth is standing right there. Just distract him. I'll check it out. Oh, hey, Edgeworth. Is that Detective Gumshoe out the window there? Oh no, he's falling to the ground. Hold on. First, let me see what this girl's doing crawling around my feet. He didn't even look. What? Letter of... If you're having trouble reading, I'll read it for you. It says letter of resignation. Resignation? Edgeworth, you don't mean... I'm tired, right? I feel as if something inside me has died. But Mr. Edgeworth, none of it is your fault. I know the path I've walked. You don't need to tell me. And the path I've walked hasn't been a just one. I can't forgive myself for what I've done. And no one else should forgive me either. Uh-oh. I think he's serious. Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something. This letter of resignation. I wonder if I can use it for anything. I think we might be able to. There's no excuse for what I've done. 2 years ago, I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to. And nothing I can do can erase that fact. Yeah, but you didn't know, did you? I mean, the evidence was falsified. The police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If that bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. The police department's error is my error, my responsibility as the prosecutor in charge. The fact remains the same no matter what excuses I might have. Mr. Edgeworth, I take pride in my work. So tell me why. Ain't nothing but a heartache. Ain't nothing but a mistake. Why has it all come to this? Even Edgeworth can't keep up this kind of emotion. Even Edgeworth can't keep this kind of emotion bottled up. Are you up for the trial tomorrow? First last year's trial, and now this one. It seems all you do is worry about me. To be honest, you're getting on my nerves. But Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just walk out on the trial. Tomorrow is the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors. I'll bet that's what my superiors are banking on. I never thought that case would come back to haunt me like this. What do you mean? The list of evidence. It seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. It's only half as long as most lists. That's odd. After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I may not have been part of the investigation, but I knew what I had to do. Use the evidence I was given to prove the suspect guilty. That really was the only thing on my mind at the time. Say, we just saw a picture taken around that time. That picture. Something seems strange about it. Could you tell us again what happened about what happened the other day? The day Detective Goodman was murdered. You were participating in a ceremony over at the station, right? I've never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend that one. 2 seconds. Is it still working? Yeah, there we go. Right. Because you were awarded this? Yeah, sleepy. Those receiving awards can't exactly skip out on the ceremony. I finished up at the office in the morning, then drove over to the police department. You finished up at the office? Yes. Just odds and ends. Clerical stuff. I didn't plan on returning to the office that day. That is, until I was asked to take something back. Take something back? This. Oh yeah, Chief Gant asked you to hold on to that, didn't he? Yes. It was a piece of evidence in a case that was closed half a year ago. He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office. That's the story we heard yesterday. So you came back here to the prosecutor's office because the chief asked you to? I'm just rejigging myself. Moving around at the moment. Trying to shake the tiredness. I'll tell you what, give me 1 second. Oh, there we go. Am I coming through okay? So I was just rejigging the mic setup a little bit. I'm standing up now because I don't want to fall asleep, you see, because I am proper into this case. So you came back here to the prosecutor's office because the chief asked you to? That's right. Oh. I'm getting an echo now. How about now? Wake up! Yeah, we're not getting the boomer moments. Hold on. Coming through okay? How's it coming through now? Distorted but better. Right. I'll tell you what, I'll go back to the original setup. Sounding handsome, to be honest. How's that now? Is that alright? Is that alright? Hang on, are you saying there's no sound now at all? I'm getting feedback on the microphone here. Ah, okay. I'll stay sitting down then. I was going to try and be smart then. I was going to try and be smart then and stand up, but never mind. Right. Okay, so what we're going to do now, chat, is we're going to go back to Gumshoe. Or maybe not. Oh, excuse me? Oh, it's her. Would either of you care for a £1/4 pound of roast beef? Miss Star! I guess she's out of lunches. You certainly are the curious sort, aren't you? Kind of like the first person who sucked a cow's Bloody hell. Kind of like the first person who sucked a cow's nipple to discover milk. Still, I never thought you'd go digging up that case from 2 years ago. Yeah, everyone in this trial was involved in the SL9 incident. And not only that, but the murder occurred on the very day evidence from that case was due for transferal. This can't all be attributed to mere coincidence. Aren't you forgetting something? Hey, we're on double-digit figures again for the views. Hello, chat. Hello, everyone. If you're here for the first time, go on. Drop a comment. Let me know you're here. You know, that little scene I happened to witness. The instant Lana stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. No matter how much of the past you dig up, it won't change what I saw. Roast beef is meant to be savoured when eaten. Yeah, 10 views but only 5 likes. Miss Star's hatred towards Lana. It all dates back to 2 years ago. Look, I don't want to talk to her right now, but we're going to have to. I'm not liking the stream until I get that phone number. Well, there's always the dislike button. Joe Dark. That's a name I'll not soon forget. We trailed him for half a year. Oh, the pressure. Still, I don't think I was ever more alive than I was then. All those days were steamier than a bowl of hot gravy. Poor old Jake Marshall, though. Must have been going through hell. You mean because of his brother's death? They were close, those two. After Neil died, something took over Jake. He became obsessed. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate. Her? Lana Skye. My sister. The best of the best were put on that SL9 case. Of course, they were led by that legendary duo. Lana and Chief Gant. Aye. That legendary pair was the reason we were able to keep up our investigation. That's why we were so shocked over how it turned out. You mean with the forging of the evidence? Oh, don't get me wrong. Joe Dark got what he deserved. Still, it was obvious the evidence produced in court was being manipulated. You know, if you ever feel like becoming like Mulvaney, you already have a more convincing voice, TCG. No, not for me. But, you know, it's cool. Items our team never found would suddenly appear, while other items were kept secret. That's the reaction, there we go. But you don't have proof anything illegal was done. I'm proof enough of what happened. After that case, all of us save Goodman were relieved of our duties, most without even so much as an explanation. Then Lana Skye transferred to the prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor. Lana always wanted to be a prosecutor. Nothing's quite as simple as it appears. Huh? Lana Skye was merely being used as a pawn. That's my take on the matter. She was being used. We'll get to that one. Damon Gant and Lana Skye. Gant led the investigation. Led the investigation, even, I should say. How silly of me. Gant led the investigation, with Lana second in command. They were the best. They solved all kinds of cases together, didn't they? Damon Gant's magnetism in particular was almost unreal. Can I talk like a kid's YouTuber for their intros? No, I cannot. It's magnetism. And by that I mean his ability to attract evidence. He'd produced the most incredible evidence in the cases he handled. Incredible evidence? You mean... Oh yes, there were rumours about him even back then. No one dared confront him though. I take it she's talking about forged evidence. Back then, everyone looked up to Lana. All the detectives wanted to be like her, and all the male detectives wanted to be like her too. Oh yes, myself included. I was a fool, really. She hated anything crooked, and always watched out for the other detectives. That's why she was so concerned with the findings, and I've missed that bit. Today, guys... Okay, what, you want me to read that bit? Okay, alright, okay. I'll do that. Today, guys, we're playing Ace Attorney to see who stabbed who. Stay to the end to find out, and trust me, you don't want to miss, okay. Today, guys, we're playing Ace Attorney to see who stabbed who. Now, stay at the end to find out, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. But before we get into today's video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for new content, and make sure you're hitting that notification bell so you stay tuned whenever I upload a new video. Back to the video. Mr. Marshall. When Jake's brother was murdered, she felt as if she had lost her own brother. If it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would have ever recovered from his shock. Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are going to try to convict a criminal gone sexual, not clickbait. I didn't know Steve Turley was making an appearance this. and thanks to this video's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. That's what makes it all the more infuriating. Miss Starr. That's why I'll never be able to forgive her. Why does she have to turn so cold after that? Being used and abused. Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, didn't she? Yes, thanks to Chief Gant's powerful influence. Chief... That's right. Having solved the SL9 case, his position as chief was secured. There was only one thing left for him to control, and then no one could stand in his way. The prosecutor's office. What? You mean that's why Lana was transferred? If he could control the chief prosecutor, he could control the prosecutor's office. That must have been his goal all along. But how could he control Lana? Oh, we've hit 11. Let's get to 12. I don't know, but one thing's for sure. And thanks to Honey for supporting this video, the browser which searches online for discounts at no cost to you. Using code TCG, my customers have saved over $0. Ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. It's only logical to conclude there must have been a reason for her change. Have you committed a crime like the wrong-uns we've looked at today? Cover your tracks by using today's sponsor, NordVPN. Nordman. Last. Finally getting close to the bottom of this ugly mess. Hey, Raycon Shadow Earbuds. Thank you, Mr. You listen to me, rookie. It takes more than just ingredients to create fine cuisine. I hope you turn out to be a better chef than I've been. Cheers, babes. Let's move on there. In we go. Where'd he go? Where's he gone? Wait, hang on. Where's he gone? Oh no. Here? Okay. Ah, right. Oh, I tell you what, yeah, Mr. Benevolent, Internet Historian has the best adverts. These are the detectives' desks. There are computers and files on each one. Funny, they were a lot tighter than I expect. Guess the detectives don't spend a lot of time at the desks. Oh, hang on a minute. Maybe. Okay. Right. I think I might have jumped the gun a bit. They say where there's smoke, there's fire. Apparently, I was so caught up in the smoke, I lost sight of the truth. Edgeworth. The others are right. I have no right to serve as a prosecutor. But Mr. Edgeworth, you were only doing your job. I've always made my own decisions about what I can or cannot do. That hasn't changed. Forgiving myself is something I cannot do. Uh-oh. I think he's serious. Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something. This letter of resignation. I wonder if I can use it for anything. Yeah, I know. So... Oh, hang on a minute. Let's go here. Aha! Right, please. I'm the prosecutor on this case. You don't expect me to sit here and discuss the case with you over a cup of tea? I'll pass on the tea. Just tell me about the case. Mr. Wright, Mr. Edgeworth just told you no in a very stylish manner. Whose side are you on anyways? Maybe if I just show him my best evidence, I can get some reaction out of him. Like this. This picture was hanging on the wall in Chief Gant's office. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He had just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors trophy. Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me. Yes? The trophy Mr. Marshall is holding. It's a little different than yours. Yes, you're right. Ah, I remember now. Remember what? That was what the official prosecutor's trophy looked like until 2 years ago. There's a story behind its design. A story? Sounds interesting. Would you mind telling it to us? Well, it's simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the award's based on. Oh, right, okay. This award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with 2 characters. The first means halberd, and the second means shield. Have you heard this story? Me? Oh, sure. Everyone knows that. Why don't you tell it, though? For Emma's sake. Very well. Long ago in the kingdom of Chu, there was an arms merchant. One day, he presented the king with 2 items. The first was a halberd. He claimed could slice through any shield or armor. The second was a shield he claimed could withstand any weapon. Wait a minute. Those claims contradict each other. Very perceptive. But then again, you've heard this story before, right? Anyway, as you mentioned, the very descriptions of these items discredit them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless. And thus, the Chinese word for contradiction was born. Oh, I see. So the chipped shield and the broken knife symbolize... Precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's items. The ancient tale ends with the merchant at a loss for words. But it's in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion. Even if it results in something as ugly as this. Wow. Thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today. That's funny. If that's so, then why were you only given a shield? You'll have to ask Chief Gant. 2 years ago, he had the halberd part of the award abolished. Chief Gant? Okay. Let's see. Ah, here we go. Oh, you're back. You still here? I gotta make 150 copies of these files. Brewing coffee, copying files. I'm turning into a regular DJ. You're a DJ as well? If I'm not mistaken, I think he means desk jockey. Oh, that DJ. I gotta admire your persistency, but no's a no. I'm not letting you in the chief's office, period. It'd be my neck on the line. That office is the last crime scene in the SL9 incident. I have to take a look in there. It's got to be something we can do to make the detective change his mind. Yes, there is. And it's called pathos. What's this crumpled up piece of paper? No way! Mr. Edgeworth can't be serious! Is he ever not serious? I can't believe they've pushed him this far. Mr. Edgeworth really feels responsible. No worries, JFC. When I first met him, I thought he was as cold as ice too. But I know different now. He trusted us detectives to provide him with sound evidence. But we betrayed him. Detective. That's it. I've made up my mind. But here, take my ID card. We can't do that. If someone found out, they wouldn't let you off the hook with another lost item Someone been using Foundations of Rhetoric TCG. No, I'm just naturally gifted with the gab. Apparently. Ah! Look at me. It's no secret I'm already out of the loop. After all, I'm friends with Mr. Edgeworth. Depending on how this case turns out, I may already be as good as terminated. What? So at least let me do this, for Mr. Edgeworth's sake. Alright, Detective. Thank you. Right. Just going to quickly pose a question to you, chat. With regards to the videos. Which do you prefer? There we go. Yeah, just a short one to see what you prefer. Do you prefer the investigation parts of these stories, or do you prefer the trial elements? Right, now we should be able to... Right. Okay. Oops. Okay, so back in here now. Here goes, Mr. Wright. Uh-oh. We're in. If anyone finds us now, Detective Gumshoe's a goner. Brilliant. If that happens, I'm counting on you to bail me out. Eek! Ah! Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. I didn't even know you could slap a ghost. Mr. Crime, sir, remember to drink water. Yes, I will do, don't worry. Ah! Detective Gumshoe! What are you doing sneaking up on us like this, huh? I wasn't sneaking. I was just worried something might go wrong. So I came too. Well, if you're here, then what's the point in giving us your ID card? Gumshoe's ID crushed and rendered unusable in pocket. Hey, don't do that to my card! I hardly ever got the chance to come in here. So I figured I'd have a look around myself. Besides, we're all in this together now. You really do want to get fired, don't you? Not if we're lucky. Now, come on. Let's see what we can find out. I've got a bad feeling about this. Right, no clues there. No clues there. This is a safe, isn't it? Safe? That word is ripe with intrigue. Okay, if you say so. I can add fruits to water. Okay, oh, interesting. Okay, okay. It looks like a code needs to be entered in this panel to open it. 7-digit number. I think I just might know what it is. Do you know what it is? I have a hunch. Oh, I know. You want to try my birthday? It's... I have a better idea. Here goes nothing. Hey, there we go. Bingo. What number did you enter? Whose birthday was it, pal? 7777777. The final ID card number on that record. What? The number of the mysterious executive officer who entered the room that day? You mean 777777777? That ID number? I think you're 17 shy this time. That can only mean one thing. That's Chief Gant's ID number. Say, anyone care to look inside? Oh, mate, could you imagine? Right.
Is there any money in there? How much does he have stashed away?
Look, it's Oh, it's a shard from the broken cup. This somehow looks familiar. Where have I seen this before? There's something else in here too. What's this? Looks like a piece of leather cloth. It's a handprint, isn't it?
Hey, I saw someone wearing a shirt like that once. You think you think the chief made up the design?
I don't think so.
Oh well. It was just a thought.
Is that it? This is all that was in the safe? Apparently so. It's empty now.
A piece of cloth with a handprint on it, and a broken shard from a cup.
It looked like the same pieces to me.
Yeah, but unless you can prove they have something to do with this case, I'm afraid I can't just let you take them. After all, it's my neck on the line here.
Oh, great. Now I have to prove their relevancy to get them. How are these two items related to the SO9 incident? Come on. It's got to be something we can show the detective. Well, let's have a little look around first. Wow, look at the size of Chief Gant's desk. Speaking of that, when we were here earlier... Oh, it's you two! Chief Gant. He put that paper he was holding in his desk. I wonder what he was reading.
This looks like a list of evidence.
A list of evidence?
In most cases, the list runs twice as long as this, though.
Hey, look! Look at the case name. Huh?
SL9 incident. I wonder what this is doing here. Hold on, detective. What did you just say?
I said, I wonder what...
No, about that.
No, about evidence lists. Normally they're twice as long.
That's right. I guess there wasn't a lot of evidence.
A half-size list of evidence. The list of evidence. It seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. Luminol and assembly of the cup, yes. What would be the other half of the list doing here? I knew it. The chief must be hiding something about that. It would appear so. Right. What? Just having a quick look through here. Okay. Right. Let's chat to him anyway. That desk on the other side of the room, was that your sister's? Yes, that's where I was waiting for Lana. On that day 2 years ago. Is anyone using it now?
No, sir. This is entirely Chief Gant's office now. He practices a strict policy of preserving the crime scene.
It's a strange reason to leave it there. Oh.
He leaves it as a warning to everyone else. He wants us to always be alert.
You know, you haven't done any alloing for voices for quite a while, TCG. We've missed so many opportunities for Detective Crabtree voices in these games. Oh. Well, the Frenchie might come out at some point.
He told us so himself at our New Year's party. Of course, he was pretty intoxicated at the time.
I see. So, ever since Lana left, No one ever touches that desk?
No one except Chief Gant. And the cleaning lady who's in each morning.
Still, 2 years have passed since that incident. There can't possibly be any clues remaining.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
You only came here to look around, right? Because it's one of the SL9 crime scenes. I mean, that's your only reason for coming here, isn't it?
Why'd you ask?
You don't think? Nah, you wouldn't be. No. No, there's no way. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
Okay, then. Now, let's look around a bit more.
No, hey, hold on. Not so fast, buddy.
Huh? What is it?
When someone tells you don't worry about it, it's supposed to start bothering you, pal. You don't just let it go at that.
Sorry. Oh, this guy's starting to get on my nerves. Okay, so what's bothering you? Vikings could have easily been Crabtree. I was pissing by the evidence locker when I got...
You two don't think. Chief Gant might be a suspect, do you?
What? He's right, Mr. Wright. What do we think of him? Chief Gant. So it's finally come to this. What do I think of him? Perhaps it's best I don't divulge my feelings yet. Alright.
There you go, ignoring me again.
Right, okay. We still examining? This was Lana's desk. It sure is tidy. Lana's always been a meticulous cleaner. No, I'm not going to be doing an address reveal either, not Moriarty, especially not... I'm not giving that information out. There's not even any dust on it. It looks like someone's still keeping it clean. Does Lana ever come back here?
Nah. Chief Gant must still keep it clean in memory of their partnership. They were the stuff of legend. They were the stuff legends are made of.
Yes, you go for it, Burnsy. Does he keep it in memory of her? Or in memory of the crime? This was taken on that day 2 years ago. The day Joe Dark ran out of the questioning room and tried to kill Emma.
After reading his award trophy, Mr. Marshall took a picture here. That went on along with Chief Gant to question. Then went along with Chief Gant to question Dark. I bet he never knew he'd be dead just a few hours later.
Hey, Bilbo, how you doing? Gee, you think? How do I get to come visit when I'm back in UK if you won't give out the address? Right, is there anything else? These shelves are mostly empty. Lana must have cleaned them out when she transferred over to the prosecutor's office. There's a small picture in the frame of the shelf. Hey! This is when Lana and I went to that theme park. I don't think there's anything else here.
The Chief's organ sure is a sight to behold. Occasionally we hear him playing it from the Criminal Affairs Department.
It's on the 2nd floor, and this is the 15th floor in an entirely different building.
When a chief detective screws up, the detective calls them for his release. It makes them listen to the organ for hours.
Oh, not Moriarty, how did you know? What's so bad about that? Music soothes the soul.
After that, the detective can't hear anything for days except for the ringing in their ears.
So if it's an instrument of punishment, literally. But aren't the chief's ears affected?
He never listens to anyone anyway.
That's beside the point. What about this then? This is the real deal, isn't it? The armor and these weapons.
Sure is, pal. The chief doesn't care for imitations.
First the pipe organ, now this armor. Do you know how many taxpayer dollars must have gone into this room? What? You don't mean we're paying for this?
That's it. I'm not paying 1 cent of my taxes.
Whoa! Emma Sky, Libertarian Incorporated, 2024. You don't have any taxes to pay.
Shh! Be careful what you say.
Right. I don't think he'd fit in there.
Even if
he did, he'd never be able to get back out.
Cut it out. You guys don't know how scary that guy can be.
Right. Oh. You've just woken up, very cozy, lovely, jubbly. I'm just trying to think what to do. Like, do I move on now? Where do I go? Where do I go? Or do I need to present more evidence? Alright, let's go back to him. Right. Oh. Right. That's what the chief was reading before, wasn't it? You know, when we first came in here, yeah, looks like the right side of the form's been torn off. So if Mr. Edgeworth's list really was only half of the whole thing...
Something else is bugging me more than that. Take a look at the back of that form, pal.
The back? Oh, I pushed the wrong button. Oh, what have we got here? I wonder what this is. It looks like someone drew some kind of sketch here. What is it? Did you find something? I can't make it out. Better keep quiet about it for now. Huh? Oh, no, it's nothing. Why are your eyes moving about like that, Mr. Wright? I better not forget about this picture. Right. Detective Gumshoe, did you have another look at this jar?
I remember when the three of us put that back together. Ah, those were the days.
It's kind of early to be nostalgic. Wasn't this jar a piece of evidence from that case?
That's right. One of the shards had an SL9 incident sticker on it.
Doesn't this ring any bells? You know, that fragment we just found.
You mean this one that was in the safe?
Yes, that one. That was in the safe.
Now that you mention it, it's ringing a lot of bells. Let's see if it fits.
Let's assemble the fragments. Here, let me see that shard. I'll take a crack at this.
Go ahead, pal. Show us what a rookie can do.
Mr. Wright, here's some glue. I can piece this together again. It'll prove Chief Gant was knowingly hiding evidence. Here goes. Oh, gee. If I can put this back together, then... Oh. Okay. We did it! There, it fits like a charm. That, of course, means Chief Gant willingly and knowingly hid a piece of this jar in his safe. In other words, he concealed a piece of evidence from the SL9 incident. But,
Hey guys, get a load of this.
what is it?
This piece you just attached, it's different from the others.
There's a reddish line on it. A reddish line? That's blood.
I don't get it. Why would Chief Gant hide this in his safe?
Why would he? That's a great question. Right, what do we do now?
Hey, that's it. That's the King of Prosecutors award that Mr. Edgeworth won the other day.
Yeah, we did this. Okay. You haven't missed anything, JFC, don't worry. We just put... Oh, actually, what we have done is we put the jar back together. You bet if it wasn't a piece of evidence, had been found guilty. The broken... Oh, okay. Just missed a whole bunch of dialogue there. How could it have possibly got into Mr. Edgeworth's car? Not only that, but it was wrapped in Lana's scarf.
What's even more mysterious is whether that's called a scarf or a muffler. Answer me that, pal.
Hold on. Hey, look here. It's hard to make out, but there's a dark red stain here. Looks like blood. This piece the chief has is different though. The blood stains on the other pieces are just spots. But this one's a line. Yeah, that is odd.
Hello?
Right. Yeah. Right. Sounds like chat needs to riot. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Wow, look at the size of Chief Gant's desk. We found this inside the drawer. A list of evidence from the SL9 incident. Mr. Edgeworth had the other half of that list. What would this list be doing here? We better look a little more into this list. Ah! Can I show him the list? Ah. Okay, maybe... Okay. Right. Let's go here. Ah. Okay, I'm stuck. Where do I go from here? Where do I go from here? Right. Where do I go from here?
Look at that giant window. Makes you want to crash through it and jump outside.
This is the 15th floor.
I know. I was just saying.
Saying what?
Ever since making Detective, I've always dreamed about doing something like that.
Hello, and welcome to the channel. Right now, I'm hiding from my fan community. Note to self, Detective Gumshoe has a lot of dreams, so long as he doesn't go crashing through that window. When he gets fired. Don't say that. Right, so we've searched everything in here. Right. Oh, I am stumped, chat. I am absolutely stumped. Let me think. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? So I feel like we've got a oh man. Okay, so right. Come on. What do we do, chat? What do we do? Right, let's give that a go. There we are. Right, hello Tash, how you doing? Right, okay. That's Mrs. Gladive to you, Patsy. Right, okay. Detective Gumshoe, I'd like you to have a look at this.
Hey, I know what that is. So you want to take some fingerprints?
Oh my god, of course! The little cloth thing. That's a great idea, Detective.
All right, go to town. Sheesh.
Duh! What are you doing? Why are you sticking out your hand like that?
Go ahead. Take my fingerprints.
It's not your fingerprints we want to take.
Huh?
Come on, this isn't the time for jokes. We're talking about that cloth we found in the safe. Do you know what? It's because it wasn't sitting in my evidence, that's why.
Oh, I knew that. The one with the handprint on it, right? Sheesh, where's your sense of humor?
Okay, Mr. Wright, let's check for prints. Sprinkle the powder on the cloth. Then, once they've been absorbed into the prints, blow the rest away. What are you, my mum? I have to be told a million times. Alright, let's get this over with. Here we go, guys. Whee! Oh. So we're sprinkling, sprinklies. Look at these lovely sprinkles. Everybody loves sprinkles. There we go. Lots and lovely sprinkles. Yes. I'm very tired, so I am not making sense. There we go.
Gotcha, bitch.
I gave it my best shot. That kind of result won't be any good for matching prints, will it? It doesn't look like we'll get a clear result from this print. TCG's Coke. Yes, I do like Diet Coke. Okay, let's try different fingers. Let's go. Let's go with the middle finger. Up middle finger, I showed it. Alright. There we go. Really? Oh my gosh. Come on. There we go. Right. Hey, Harry, and how you doing as well? You alright? Right, let's have a look. Oh. Oh. I wasn't expecting that. Was not expecting that. No. How can this be? What are Emma's fingerprints doing here? Hey, you found a match. Whose fingerprints were they? Huh? Yeah, it seems the prints are too old. They aren't clear enough to get a match. Oh. That's too bad. I thought they'd be Dark's prints. Did the butler do it? That was like 3 turnabouts ago?
Psst, you, over here. What's going on here? What are that kid's prints doing inside the chief's safe?
Don't ask me. Let's just keep this information from Emma for now.
Here, maybe you should hold on to this.
Piece of cloth folded and added to the court record.
Well, was I any help?
Yeah, of course. Thanks to your ID card, we were able to get some hard evidence. Now that's not very kind, is it? In other words, if it wasn't for this ID card, he would have been useless. Isn't that right, you in the coat?
Eek! Chief Gant!
We didn't think you'd be back so soon.
Fortunately, I'm a man who believes in signs. As I was walking to my meeting, I happened to look out a window and saw a stray dog run right into a pole. Just then, I thought of a certain detective.
Do you mean me, sir?
Now then, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you all to leave.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Oh, you in the coat.
Me, sir?
Drop off your ID on the way out. You won't be needing it anymore.
But, sir...
Now get out.
Yes, sir.
We'll be on our way too, then.
Wait! You, the one without the spiky hair. Don't go yet.
Me, sir?
I'd like a word with you.
But, sir, I'm not a licensed scientific investigator yet.
You, with the spiky hair. You're free to go.
Mr. Wright! No.
Look, pal, if I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. The chief's office is off limits. But no, you just had to go sneaking in there like that, didn't you?
I thought you said you didn't care anymore if you were fired.
Yeah, but if I knew it'd be like this, I never would have said it.
Now that I've seen the evidence Chief Gant was hiding in his office, I think I'm finally starting to see the picture. Why has she kept eerily silent about it all this time?
Anyway, you listening to me? I'm gonna try to smooth things over with the chief again. Later, pal.
After that, I heard from Emma. She said the police wanted to ask her some questions, so she'll be busy for the rest of the day. Oh, who's good nighting? Oh, Marina, are you off now? February 24, detention center. We're almost wrapped up now, to be fair. We're almost wrapped up. I see. So the chief asked Emma to come in for questioning. It's no use thinking about it. Tomorrow's the final day in the court. I'm committed to doing everything I can to defend you, which is why I'm here. But I've already told you all I can. What you've told me over these past couple of days is absolutely nothing. Not a single useful thing. Really? I believe I did mention something quite important. Something I told you right at the beginning. I said that I was the one who stabbed Detective Goodman. You know, I think I finally figured it out. I know who it is that's lurking behind your words. Mia did a good job mentoring you. I'm rather jealous. Yeah, take it easy. Good night, Marina. It seems Edgeworth was right. Edgeworth? Once you're convinced you know something, no one can persuade you otherwise. Thick-headed is the term I believe he used. Now's my chance to get her to tell me the rest of the story. Let's go. Now, I have to admit I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted you did it, yet there was no incriminating evidence. And that's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth. It's that you're incapable of doing so because of a certain individual. What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say? So you think I'm protecting this person? Protecting? No. I think you're afraid of is more like it. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to silence. For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, who, may I ask, is this person you're speaking of? The one I'm supposedly so frightened of? What is this person's name? Gant. Well, Miss Skye? Mr. Wright, you are addressing the Chief Prosecutor. Do not forget your place. I'll take it she's still not ready to spill the beans. My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about what you think you know? We were partners until 2 years ago. I respected him as a detective. Assuming he is respectable, then, tell me something. Why would he try to hide his crimes? His crimes? Both you and Edgeworth will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. Specifically, hiding and forging evidence. Of course, these are serious offences. Why is it, though, that Chief Gant's name was never mentioned? Chief Gant? Edgeworth didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have possibly tampered with the evidence was me. I had access because I was second in command of that investigation. Yes, but also one other, Damon Gant. If you intend to accuse Chief Gant, you'll need more than just words. Should be proof that Chief Gant falsified evidence in that case. Ah, right, okay. Right, oh god, right. Well, it's gotta be this, isn't it? I just found this in a safe in the chief's office. This jar piece, and this piece of cloth. Do you know what these are? The pieces of evidence from the SL9 incident. I'm being told to save, okay. Come on, we're nearly there now, nearly there. The person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Gant himself. Now tell me, why are you taking all the blame for him? Touché, Mr. Wright. It's as you surmised. I cannot disobey the Chief's orders. Even if it means being found guilty for murder. Why not? Come now, Mr. Wright. You can't possibly expect me to be able to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate. In the murder of Detective Goodman. Or perhaps I should say, follow orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate. Although I can't tell you the details, I can say that I was given an order that day.
I need you to dispose of Bruce Goodman's body. You'll find it inside the trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car.
Just as I suspected. Despite what everyone believes, you were not the one who murdered Detective Goodman. Correct. I was trying to take the body out of Esworth's car. The trunk's lock was broken, and I discovered that murder weapon while inspecting the body. The murder weapon? You mean Edgeworth's knife? No. When I found the body, this was the knife stuck in it. The knife from the SL9 incident. Serial killer Joe Dark's knife. I just couldn't leave that knife in him. So I took it out and stabbed him with another knife. That would be Edgeworth's knife. That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand. And that is the reason for the bandage on your right hand. Yes, it seems that I got blood on the victim's shoes as well. And then she saw me just as I plunged the knife in. Miss Starr, huh? Come on. Let's get to the end of this chapter. Come on. Why did you need to hide Dark's knife so badly? Excuse me. It took a lot of work to finally close the Dark case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't ever want it to be opened again. My intent was to prevent that, by whatever means possible. So, you hid Dark's knife? The weapon used to stab the detective was evidence in the Joe Dark case. If word got out, which it would, the reporters would have a field day with that. So you wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it? In Edgeworth's exhaust pipe? Right. Then I called my sister. To tell her what happened, and to ask her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler. Phrasing. You asked Emma? I didn't want anyone on the force to know about this. That would explain why Emma was so confident about Lana's innocence. Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day. A bad feeling? The truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Gant, the first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall. To Marshall? Why on earth would you call him? The lead investigator for the SL9 incident had been murdered. I wanted that fact to be kept hidden, and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust. Or at least I thought I could trust him at the time. However, it seems that after I spoke to him, he went off on an escapade of his own. Oh, you mean, not wanting the case to die, he decided to take things into his own hands. He disguised himself as Detective Goodman and tried to steal the evidence, when he was tackled by Officer Veekins. He had already stolen the ID card, but it seems he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. After my phone call, any remaining doubts he had must have disappeared. So your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room? I'm afraid that's all I can tell you. But Lana, you've earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as a defense attorney and an investigator. Now, please, don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow. Tomorrow's trial. There's only one way to drive off Lana's demons. I've got to get to the bottom of everything. Detective Goodman's real murderer. And what went down in the chief's office 2 years ago. Drive off Damon Gant, exactly. Right. It's looking like he's the guy. He's the guy. He's the guy. Right, guys. I know I was going to try and do the trial bit today, but I'm absolutely exhausted. So, we are going to leave it here. We are going to be back on. Let's pop back on Saturday. let's do that, shall we? Let's pop back Saturday, where we'll do part 16 and hopefully the last part of Ace Attorney, first game of the trilogy. Thank you ever so much for joining me this evening. I do appreciate Night Normie. Shut up, Harrian. But yeah, so yeah, I'll probably do it again tomorrow. The overtime is not a thing this weekend, so I can have a little bit of a rest. But yeah, guys, thank you ever so much for sticking around this evening. We'll come back tomorrow and we'll do part 16, aka the trial. Final day, it even says. So yeah, it's gonna have to be the last. It's gonna have to be the last one. Oh, that's a shame, JFC. But yeah, you can always catch it on the replay. But yeah, thank you ever so much for joining me tonight. We'll be back tomorrow, and yeah, hopefully concluding a fantastic game. So, all that's left to say is until next time, take care and goodbye for now.